Tonga, a true island paradise in the heart of the South Pacific, tucked between Samoa and about 2/3 of the way to Hawaii. But in the 60s and 70s, a wave of Tongans started moving out. Many set their sights on New Zealand and Australia, while others made their way to the US, landing in places like Hawaii, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake City. Now, in LA, they found themselves settling in Inglewood and Lennox, spots known for being low income, and it wasn't long before the Tongan Crip Gang, T-Gang, came into the picture, mainly repping Inglewood, California. From the start, they linked up with African American Crip sets in the area, rolling deep together. But things started heating up in the late 80s. Cops applying pressure, streets getting too hot, so some of them made moves. They packed up and headed out to Salt Lake City, Utah, and just like that, the Tongan Crip Gang had a new home. Back in Inglewood, though, T-Gang posted up heavy, 102nd and 104th Streets, between Prairie and Doty Avenues. That's their stomping ground. Matter of fact, they even share 102nd Street with the Raymond Avenue Crips, their close allies. But here's the real twist. Inglewood is deep with blood gangs. Center Park Bloods, Queen Street Bloods, Weirdos, Gangster Bloods, you name it, they run the city. Yet, despite being surrounded, T-Gang stands out, the only Pacific Islander Polynesian street gang in the area. And if you ever see dudes rocking Texas Rangers or Texas Longhorns baseball caps, that big T stands for Tongan, repping their roots loud and clear. Now, within T-Gang, you have two main cliques, the 102nd Bone family and the 104th Nut family. And when it comes to their hood, they got a nickname for it, Inglewatts. Why they call it that? The murder rate and gang activity here are just as crazy as what you'd see in Watts, South LA. But it doesn't stop at just running their streets. T-Gang and the Park Village Compton Crips, that's the Black and Samoan connection right there. But even with that bond, they still have problems with other Samoan gangs, especially in Carson. We're talking about Carson Westside Piru, Scott Park Pyrus, and the Scottsdale Pyrus. And of course, the Hispanic gangs ain't off their hit list either. Lil Watts 13 and Lennox 13 stay in the crosshairs. Now fast forward to July 6th, 2015. LA County Sheriff's Deputy Anthony Maldonado gets the call, assault on Marine Avenue in Gardena. When he pulls up, it's a mess. Fonoaifua and Fuahala are laid out, both hit up badly with multiple gunshot wounds. But this wasn't just any shooting, this was a hit on the Tongan Crips. And TCG, they weren't about to let that slide. They went on a straight up rampage, tearing through every rival hood they could find. On October 17, 2015, around 4:30 p.m., Nicoy Coleman was driving east on Sepulveda Boulevard, about to pull into a gas station on the corner of Avalon. Then, out of nowhere, a silver four-door whips out of the station, turns right, and stops, blocks her in. Two men jump out, guns in hand. 15 feet away, they let loose on 15-year-old Salcedo. He's standing there with his girl, Andrea McMahelk. Salcedo, a Scottsdale Peru member, drops instantly. McMahelk dives behind the wall. Then the driver walks up closer and shoots Salcedo 6 more times. Shooters jump back in the car, speed off east, pull a U-turn, and head west. Coleman remembers the driver, 20s, 6 feet, thin, light brown skin, maybe black, Samoan, or Hispanic. Black t-shirt, dark blue jeans, black baseball cap, had a tattoo on his forearm, used a black semi-automatic. McMahelk, she remembers one shooter, black hat, black gun. Now the passenger, Coleman gets a good look at him too. Same age, Same height, heavier build, same skin tone as the driver, finely curled hair, goatee, white shirt, jeans, also using a black gun. Sheriff's deputies pull up and find 15 9mm shell casings and 2.45s. Detective Q Rodriguez checks the gas station surveillance. The footage shows the shooters, a silver car, and them speeding off to the east. Then things start clicking. Coleman IDs Fono Ifua sees that TCG tattoo on his right forearm, says he was either the driver or the passenger. Then they pull a photo of Lawaki. Hair, build, matches Coleman's description. McMahelk, she picks out Fono Ifua as one of the shooters too. Then the tech comes in. Cell tower data shows Lawaki's phone and Fono Ifua's phone both pinging near the crime scene around noon. By 4 p.m., Fono Ifua's phone is right near that gas station. And those .45 caliber casings matched a Taurus pistol. That Taurus, cops found it under Lawaki's seat when they stopped a Dodge van. Jump to November 8th, 2015, a graduation party at the local Tongan church on Lennox Boulevard was in full swing. People were celebrating, enjoying themselves when a Hispanic man rolled up on a bike. At first, nothing seemed unusual, just someone passing through. But then, he pulled out a gun. Nobody stuck around to see what would happen next. Witnesses ran inside yelling, "Get out of here, something's about to go down." Fast forward to the next day, early morning. Security guards at Lennox Middle School see two cars creeping down Buford Avenue. One's a silver four-door, maybe a Mercury Marquis with a passenger sitting in the back. Behind it, an old Plymouth Voyager van, one guy driving, another riding shotgun. The sedan slows up. Someone inside says, "What's up?" to the guards. Then both cars turn right onto 111. A few minutes later, they double back, cruising down 111th again, turning left on Buford. Now, one of the guards decides to follow. But just like that, the cars flip a U-turn, rolling south past his ride. The guard pulls into an elementary school, and that's when he hears the gunshots. Around that same time, Coburn's out walking near 111th Place and Redfern Street. Out of nowhere, somebody steps out from behind a parked truck and starts dumping shots. No more than 10 feet away, a black 9mm in hand. Coburn can't get a good look, it's dark, but the shooter's about 5'7", wearing a hoodie, blue jeans, and black boots. Coburn's pops is sitting on his porch when he spots a tan Crown Vic with tinted windows rolling down 111th Place. The car stops at the corner of Redfern Avenue right before the shooting starts. 4 heads inside, all rocking hoodies. Then he hears a car door pop open. 3 seconds later, shots start flying. Another door slams, and the car peels off, tires screaming. Coburn takes 5 bullets, leaving him disabled. Deputy Maldonado gets the call and pulls up to the scene around 12:18 a.m. They find a bullet fragment plus 7 casings just laying there. Now, here's where things start coming together. Cops pull video from a house near 111th and Redfern. Detective William Cotter reviews the footage and spots a van at the scene, missing some trim. It looks like a silver Dodge Caravan or Plymouth Voyager. Turns out, that same van is often parked outside Ventura Leon's place, so officers impound it. The same camera also catches a Mercury Marquis, which they seize as well. The footage shows the van arriving first. Then the Marquis pulls up and turns off its lights. At 12:14 a.m., someone gets out of the passenger side. A little later, both vehicles drive off. Now cell phones belonging to Tonga and Ventura Leon ping off towers near the crime scene at 12:15 a.m. That timing matches up exactly with the 2 cars seen on camera. A couple of hours later, at 2:23 a.m., that same Marquis and van pull into the Yoshinoya parking lot on Hawthorne Boulevard in Inglewood. This area is deep in TCG territory, a known hangout for their crew. 5 people go inside: Fifita, Ventura Leon, Lawaki, Tonga, and Fuahala. They stay for about 15 minutes, then come back out and linger in the lot talking. Around 25 minutes later, Gonzalez is biking south on Hawthorne, passing that same Yoshinoya. He notices a group of guys outside, then they pile into a gold Chevy. As Gonzalez crosses the median, the Chevy rolls past. In the back seat, there's a passenger in a white t-shirt with a little ponytail and broad shoulders. Looks Tongan. The driver locks eyes with Gonzalez. Then, out of nowhere, the Chevy busts a right, disappears for a sec, then swings back around, now heading straight toward him. Gonzalez isn't stupid. He crosses the divider again and keeps pushing south. Chevy passes him one more time. Now he's sure they're following him. He starts pedaling hard toward the 105 freeway, doesn't even glance back. Then, gunshots rang out near a donut shop. 15 minutes later, he's back on Hawthorne. The cops are already there, and 2 bodies are on the ground. Campos and his wife, Young, they're homeless, usually crash at the plaza near that donut shop. They're there because the store gives out donuts between midnight and 3 a.m. Young's scratching off lottery tickets while Campos taps on the window, trying to get the clerk's attention. "Clerk's coming," Campos tells her. Then Young sees it, a black van pulling into the alley behind the shop. Campos heads to the side door, handing out donuts. Then he shouts, "Run, Bree, don't shoot," but he shoots either way. Young looks up. Campos is already on the ground. She runs to him, then sees 2 figures with guns. She turns to run, but then she's hit and drops right on top of Campos. She couldn't see their faces, but she noticed their skin was lighter than African Americans. One had a ponytail, holding a smaller gun. The other one, skinnier, had a shotgun, rocking a black hoodie. The whole thing caught on surveillance, then just like that, they vanish. At the scene, cops find shell casings and bullet fragments, one from an SKS assault-style rifle, the other a 9mm, same type that hit Coburn. Lennox Academy's cameras catch the Marquis and Plymouth pulling up just as Campos and Young step out of the donut shop. Another camera shows them on the ground while figures from the Marquis head back to their car parked behind the shop. Then the Marquis drives off. On December 1st, 2015, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Garcia pulls over a white 2015 Dodge Caravan. Inside are Ventura Leon, Lawaki, and Matt Apiata. The deputies run a search, and in the trunk, they find a hat. But under the front passenger carpet, right in the floorboard, they find something much more serious: a .45 caliber Taurus semi-automatic pistol. Lawaki, who's sitting right there, immediately takes responsibility, says the gun is his, says he's part of Tongan Crip Gang, and goes by the name Sin. The next day, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Detective Imelda Bottomley sits down with Lawaki, and one thing stands out: no tattoos. Fast forward to January 26th, 2016 at 5:53 p.m. Ruiz is outside his place in Gardena, smoking a cigarette, just hanging out with his pregnant wife, Cabrera Gongora. She's sitting in the passenger seat, and he's standing next to the car. Then, out of nowhere, a 4-door white car pulls up. The people inside are staring straight at Ruiz. Gongora can't make out their faces, but she hears what they yell: "Tongan Gang Crip, man." And then the passenger, muscular, tattoo on his arm, pulls out a handgun and starts shooting. Ruiz takes the hit, his body catching the rounds, and he drops to the ground. He looks up, sees the car speeding off, but he can't make out who was inside. All he notices is the back of the car. It kind of looks like a Kia Optima. Gongora doesn't waste a second. She runs upstairs to tell Ruiz's mom. Later, Gongora looks at a lineup, trying to piece together what she saw. She picks out 2 photos. Why? The building, the ponytails. That's what stuck with her. The gunman had a ponytail. Meanwhile, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Sandra Patino arrives at the scene and starts searching for evidence. Near Ruiz's car, she finds 5.380 caliber shell casings. And here's where things take another turn. Earlier that same day, Long Beach police officer Michael Barth responds to a call about gunshots at a house in Long Beach. When he arrives, the first thing he sees is bullet holes in a black Dodge Charger. In the backyard, he finds 2 shell casings. And then there's the blood on the ground, on the walkway, even smeared on a white fence out front. The blood trail leads straight to the garage door. Barth opens it and finds Fono'aifua inside, his right hand wrapped up. He tells the officer he punched a light after a fight with his girlfriend. That's his story, and just so it's clear, no weapon was found. Then in March 2016, federal agents secured wiretap warrants for several individuals: Ventura Leon, Fono'aifua, Fuahala, Lawaki, Tonga, and Fafita. They were keeping close tabs on them, listening in and watching their movements. Then came March 23rd. Agents raided Ventura Leon's place. Parked nearby was a Plymouth Voyager van. When Detective Bottomley asked for his phone number, Ventura Leon handed it over without hesitation. They also seized the phone, got a warrant, and took a look inside. What did they find? Photos, Ventura Leon, other TCG members, and yes, Fono'aifua was in there too, but that wasn't even the most surprising part. While searching the house, they discovered a pistol hidden inside the upstairs toilet's water tank. Bottomley then questioned Ventura Leon about 2 men he had been pulled over with in that same Plymouth van. He didn't shy away. Lawaki and Apiata, they were like brothers. And Apiata, he was a confirmed TCG member. Then Ventura Leon added one more detail. He used to drive that Plymouth van all the time, right up until it broke down about a month earlier. On August 10th, 2016, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Claudia Castro pulls up to a traffic stop. She spots Fafita in a black Chevy Impala getting pulled over. But here's the thing, the deputies stopping him already have a plan. During the stop, they quietly extract data from his phone. A few days later, on August 16th, Detective Carter sits down with Ventura Leon. He's already in jail on another charge, so Carter takes the opportunity to press him. At this point, no one has been arrested for any murders. Carter lays out photos, shots of Yoshinoya, the van from the donut shop killing. Then he looks Ventura Leon in the eye and tells him straight up he's a suspect. 13 days later, Detective Mike Davis meets Lawaki at a probation office in South LA. Lawaki is there for a routine check-in related to a gun case, a Taurus handgun. As they talk, he lets something slip. He was shot by a group of Mexicans in Inglewood. The detectives show him a picture of him and a few others at Yoshinoya. He doesn't even try to deny it. Yeah, he admits. That's me in the middle. Now, while Davis is there, he meets a guy named Yese Tutu. Tutu is kind of like a mentor to Lawaki, someone he looks up to. Later that night, around 9 p.m., Tutu gives Lawaki a call. Lawaki's frustrated. He thought he was just checking in with probation, but then the cops started pressing him about a homicide they think he's involved in. They've got cameras, pictures. It's starting to sound serious. Lawaki insists he wasn't involved, but admits he showed up right after. Then he backtracks a bit. Before it happened, he was actually with that group, and yet he still hasn't been arrested for murder. Detective Albert Carrillo steps in now, goes to Ventura Leon in jail, shows him a picture of Fono Ifua, says he might be tied to the Lennox Park murder. Then they put Ventura Leon in a cell right across from Fono Ifua. Ventura Leon doesn't say a word, just looks at him, runs his hand across his throat, left to right, then shakes his head hard. On August 31st, 2016, Deputy Castro and her partner pull up to Fafita's place and ask to see him. They get right to the point. The police need his DNA for a murder investigation. Then they head to Hawthorne to find his dad and tell him the same thing. But there's more to it than just DNA. Castro isn't just collecting evidence. She's hoping Fafita will make a call, say something to the wrong person, and slip up. And that same day, that's exactly what happens. Fafita's talking to Leka on the phone. Leka tells him the cops showed up at the house asking for his fingerprint or DNA for the donut shop thing. Says he told them he didn't know Fafita. Then Fafita tells Leka to run outside, stop his dad from giving up certain addresses. But it's too late. Leka calls back, tells Fafita his dad already talked. Cops are trying to match Fafita's blood to what they found at the crime scene. Then Leka asks, "You didn't bleed that night, right?" And Fafita just says, "Nah." A few hours later, another call. Fafita wants to know if the cops are gone. They start going over what the cops' cars look like, just in case he runs into them. Leka tells him they talked to N-Dog, then left. N-Dog told the cops Fafita got married and moved away. But Leka keeps pressing the real issue. The cops want his DNA. They have a sweater from the crime scene. Now Fafita's on edge. Even his job reached out. His manager said the cops were looking for him. He's thinking about whether he should just give them his DNA, but something doesn't sit right. The manager mentioned they found a shell casing tied to a murder. Then Leka asks if he left behind a button-up or a t-shirt. That catches Fafita off guard. First time he's even heard about that. Now he's getting paranoid. Someone's talking. He tells Leka the cops showed up at his wife's place and showed her a picture of some Hispanic guy named Tony. Then he asks if Leka knows him, the Mexican. Leka sounds confused. "You mean the guy we chased, the one we shot?" But Fafita clarifies, "No, not that guy." He then starts putting things together. Before the shooting, he and his crew chased some bald guy on a bike. But here's the weird part. The cops weren't even there, yet they knew about it. Fafita wonders if Tony's the one snitching. He tells Leka that Tony's car was one of the ones that left. Then it clicks. Tony saw him at JR's thing, then got arrested. Next thing you know, the cops are showing his wife Tony's picture, saying that's how they know he was at the scene. Now, Fafita's mind is racing, trying to remember everyone who was there that night. Then it hits him. Ventura Leon. He got locked up, and right after that, the cops came with Tony's picture. Fafita's frustrated, says Ventura Leon was in that Yoshinoya picture, but he should have just played dumb. Said he didn't know them, said he was Mexican, and they were Tongans. Leka asks if the sweater is some kind of setup. Fafita says the only thing it could be was a cloth tied around Mote's head. He can't even remember if it was a sweater or a shirt. Then he insists they won't find his DNA because he wasn't wearing anything. If there was something, it was the other guys. Then he says after that one, they left and did another one by LNX. Remembers pulling up, Mote had something on his head, but when they got back, it was gone. Mote mentioned something about it, but it's all a blur now. He doesn't know if it was tied or worn, but after the job, it disappeared. Then, on September 7th, 2016, while Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy Larry Uruita was keeping an eye on a house in Hawthorne, he spotted Tonga and Fafita hanging out on the front porch. Now, here's something interesting. Fafita usually kept his hair long, tied up in a bun. But that day, no bun, no ponytail. His hair was cut short. Fast forward 9 days, Tutu and Lawaki are on the phone. Tutu asks if the hit they talked about earlier in the month was the one at the donut shop. Lawaki confirms, yeah, Lennox. Then Tutu brings up something else. The cops are saying Lawaki is tied to another body and that he's the one who handed Tony the gun. But Lawaki isn't buying it. He says that's already wrong because the only reason he got caught up was for having the gun, and yeah, it was hot, probably from something else, but he already did his time for that. Minutes later, Lawaki starts breaking it down. He says the only thing they got is a camera catching him at the restaurant. No proof he was anywhere near the actual shooting, and they can't just assume off that. He swears the cops even told him they know very well he didn't do it. Only thing they could possibly try to get him on, conspiracy, and to him, that's just stupid. On October 2nd, 2016, Ventura Leon is talking to Williams and he's fired up. He says there's a rat in jail and he knows exactly who it is. Williams tells him the guy, checkmate, is just trying to save himself and is throwing Ventura Leon under the bus to do it. Ventura Leon isn't willing to take any chances. He tells Williams everyone on the outside needs to be careful. Then he starts thinking out loud, saying they had always been careful about how they moved, even inside. But now he knows he has to be even smarter, especially on these phone calls. That same month, Holani, Ventura Leon's sister's boyfriend, calls him up, says the cops show him some pictures, him, Lawaki, and 3 other guys at Yoshinoya. Holani doesn't react, just says a picture like that doesn't prove anything. But Ventura Leon keeps going, says the cops hit him with something bigger. They claimed his van was seen following the car carrying the people who shot the homeless man, and to them, that makes him a murderer. Holani shuts it down, says they can't pin anything on him. He wasn't even there. But Ventura Leon isn't so sure. The cops already have the pictures, him at Yoshinoya and his van. In the end, Fafita, Lawaki, and Ventura Leon were all found guilty of murder and other charges. Fafita was sentenced to 106 years to life, Lawaki got 130 years to life, and Ventura Leon received the longest sentence at 150 years to life. Appreciate you watching. If you liked it, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more.